the Lord spoke to me and said, you must learn to read contracts. And by that, I knew what he was saying to me was two different things. Because, see, I think most of us are, we don't want to read 27 pages to get this cell phone. So we just sign the last page. We don't necessarily read leases and contracts. We assume everything is right. That's wrong. Because what I want to say to you is your assumptions are meaningless. If it ain't written, it ain't real. And you can't assume that everything is going to work out well. We need to learn to read contracts, policies, Scripture. And one of the two things I knew what the Lord was communicating to me was, one, take the time to read.
That's right.
And so now I kind of irritate some people because when they set something in front of me, I tell them, I'm not signing this right now. I'm going to read it. And by that, I mean I'm going to read every part of it. Because I don't know if you've ever done this, but I've entered into leases for buildings assuming that they had the same heart going into this that I did, only to discover about a year into it, they didn't. And you can assume that they're going to comply or they're going to do this, but assumptions get you in trouble. And trust me, I am going to bring this right into our spiritual life, because I've sat down with people who have been mad at God because they feel like God failed them. And when I inquire about why are you feeling this way and what is it that God failed to do, they will say along these lines, I assumed God would do this. I assumed God would do it at this time. I assumed God would do it in this manner. God is not committed to your assumptions. He's committed to His Word. He watches over His Word to perform it, not our assumptions. And so most of the people that I've ever sat down with that have been mad at God, they're not mad because God failed His Word. They're mad because God didn't do what they assumed God would do.
That is so true.
Okay? So God said to me, learn to read contracts. Take the time to read it so you know what's in it. And another thing that is implied is learn the language of contracts.